Welcome to the Royal Archetype astrology channel. This episode, I'll speak about Uranus so that you can be one step closer to finding your life purpose using astrology guidance. Now, in the last episode, I spoke about Saturn, and Saturn's keyword is mastery through limitations. Now, we come to the Uranus, where it represents principles of change or freedom, rebellion, revolution. And it's associated with unexpected phenomenon of all kinds, with sudden surprises and awakenings and breakthrough, all intellectual, psychological, and spiritual. Now, the it's important to understand where your Uranus sits in your chart, what house and what sign. That would determine the milieu of how the Uranus is playing out in your everyday life or in your psychology. Also, Uranus governs a sudden breakup of established structures and tend to have an exciting electric quality. So to give you an example, my Uranus is in the 11th house of community, right? My life theme has been about, entering a community, providing lots of value there, and then I get either guided or just universe goes into manifesting to a point where I know it's time to leave that community. It's like community hopping, right? So Uranus helps me to break through a sudden awakening. I sometimes know when to move on from a community that I have provided value. Now, so you look at your Uranus, where is it? Where is it? And then when we think about how do we become a master of our own fate, you can utilize the Uranian lesson through breakthrough that nothing lasts forever. So when this freedom, sudden freedom comes in your life, it is our responsibility to embrace this sudden surprises and use the thinking to our advantage. Now, Uranus, it says here in the research by Dr. Richard Tarnas, represents that part of us that seeks to go our own way, to choose our own individual path in life. Influence inclines one to be changeable, restless, unpredictable, sometimes irresponsibility so. Now, I've gotten a feedback in some communities that my energy is like a bomb. So it makes sense that having Uranus in the 11th house, people sees me as unpredictable and sometimes irresponsibly so. Now, having this knowledge, I fully accept that feedback. Now, also Uranus mediates creativity and innovation, and lots of creativity, innovation coming from the Uranian energy. Its lawlessness, interestingly, compared to Saturn, is about law, structure. Uranus is about lawlessness, freedom. And the highest expression it can indicate is real genius and capacity for making significant personal cultural breakthrough in the course of one's life. Now, earlier story about bumping into communities here and there, and then leaving those communities. These are, in a grand scheme of things, my teachers and my lessons for me to build a beautiful community. So I'm sort of sampling what it is to create a cultural breakthrough in the course of one's lifetime. So you can apply that for you too. Now, There's another side of Uranian energy. When a person has not integrated the Promethean impulse toward creative freedom, autonomous individualism, and capacity for change, there is a strong tendency to experience this archetype something that happens to one from without in upsetting and disruptive ways. See, having the knowledge that Uranus is supposed to end things suddenly, once you have that understanding that when events suddenly ends, it is not upsetting for you. This is the power of knowledge, right? And then we can fully embrace the opening up to the new life's horizon and new possibilities. Also, it's also called the rebel trickster. And person can feel constantly subject to problematic changes that require one to reorient one's life. So one strategy when I know that Uranus in the 11th house may act up anytime when I have done serving or hanging out in one community, the strategy is I always have a backup plan. In case just things end suddenly, right? Okay, so Uranus tends to be liberated into expression, often in sudden, unusual, and unexpected ways. It is exciting, creative, and innovative stimulation, and it can be a source of both freedom and unanticipated change. Yeah, so I hope you embrace your Uranus archetype and just go with the flow. And remember, anything and everything that happens in life is good. Next episode, I'll speak about the planet Neptune. Catch you later.